There will come a time when no one believes in you, no one supports you, no one walks beside you, and in that moment you will face a choice. Will you break, or will you rise alone? The greatest minds, the strongest warriors, the most unshakable souls, none of them waited for permission. None of them asked for company. They walked alone, and because of that, they became unstoppable. This is the truth no one tells you. The weak cling to others. The strong forge their own path. And today, I'm going to reveal 7 rare lessons that will change the way you see solitude forever. Most people fear being alone. But after this video, you will never fear it again. You will embrace it. You will use it. And you will understand why the most powerful people in history were the ones who walked alone. Stay with me until the end, because the final lesson, it will change everything. Lesson 1. The silent strength of the lone tiger. There's a saying in Buddhism, a tiger walks alone while sheep flock together. Look at nature. The strongest creatures do not move in herds. The eagle soars alone. The tiger hunts alone. The lion walks alone in search of its destiny. Why? Because they do not seek permission. They do not wait for guidance. They trust their instincts. Most people are sheep. They follow the crowd. They fear standing alone. But greatness does not come from blending in. To truly awaken, you must have the courage to stand apart. The journey to strength begins in solitude. Lesson 2. The empty cup principle. A young scholar, eager to learn the secrets of wisdom, traveled across mountains and rivers to meet a great Zen master. He had studied for years, memorized countless teachings, and believed himself to be knowledgeable. But he wanted more. He wanted enlightenment. When he arrived at the monastery, he bowed respectfully and said, "Master, I have come to learn from you. I have read many books, studied under great teachers, and mastered much knowledge. Please teach me the final truth." The Zen master smiled and invited the scholar to sit with him for tea. As they settled, the master picked up a teapot and began pouring tea into the scholar's cup. The cup filled quickly, but the master did not stop. He kept pouring. The tea overflowed, spilling onto the table and dripping onto the floor. The scholar panicked. "Master, stop! The cup is already full. It cannot hold any more." The master placed the teapot down and looked at the scholar. "And that," he said, "is why I cannot teach you." The scholar was confused. "What do you mean?" The master replied, "You have come to me full of knowledge, full of opinions, full of assumptions. How can I teach you anything new if your mind is already overflowing? Before you can receive wisdom, you must first empty your cup." The danger of a full cup. Most people walk through life with a full cup. They believe they already know enough. They believe their experiences, their opinions, their beliefs are complete. They refuse to question, to unlearn, to make space for something greater. But what happens to a full cup? It cannot hold more. It spills. It becomes useless. Many people seek wisdom, but when they hear something new, they reject it immediately. They compare it to what they already know. They argue. They resist. Instead of learning, they block themselves from growing. This is why so many people remain stuck. They repeat the same mistakes. They hold on to old beliefs, even when those beliefs no longer serve them. They refuse to change, even when change could set them free. The wise do not do this. The wise know that true learning begins with humility. The wisest people in history were not those who claimed to know everything, but those who remained students until the end of their lives. The power of emptying your cup. Imagine a beginner stepping into a martial arts dojo. If he walks in believing he already knows how to fight, he will never learn. His arrogance will keep him from growing. But if he walks in with an open mind, ready to unlearn, ready to be a student, he will rise to mastery. Life works the same way. If you want to grow, you must be willing to let go. Let go of outdated beliefs. Let go of the need to always be right. Let go of the fear of being a beginner again. The most successful people in the world are the ones who constantly empty their cups. They do not let their past knowledge limit them. They remain open, curious, and willing to learn from anyone at any time. How to empty your cup. Listen more than you speak. Most people listen only to respond. The wise listen to understand. Be open to perspectives different from your own. Question what you think you know. Just because you have believed something for years does not mean it is true. Be willing to challenge your own ideas. Embrace being wrong. Growth comes from correction. Do not fear mistakes. Learn from them. Stay humble. No matter how much you know, there is always more to learn. Even the greatest masters continue to learn every day. The scholar in the story came seeking wisdom, but he arrived with a mind too full to receive it. He had to first empty his cup before he could be filled with something greater. You are the same. Your past experiences, knowledge, and beliefs have brought you this far. But if you want to grow beyond where you are now, you must be willing to let go, unlearn, and open yourself to something new. Wisdom does not come to those who believe they know everything. It comes to those who make space for it. So ask yourself, is your cup too full? If it is, empty it, and watch how much more you can receive. Lesson 3. The sharpest sword is forged in fire. A blacksmith does not create a powerful sword by keeping it safe. He does not place it in a comfortable corner, hoping it will somehow become strong on its own. No, he takes raw metal, ordinary, unshaped and weak, and throws it into fire. The fire heats it until it glows red, soft enough to be shaped but still needing more. Then comes the hammer, strike after strike, blow after blow. The blacksmith beats the metal, folding it over and over again. He does not stop after the first hit, nor after the second. He continues, repeating the process, because he knows only through fire and force does a sword become unbreakable. You are no different. Struggles are your fire. Loneliness is your hammer. The pain you feel, that is life shaping you. Many people fear being alone. They see solitude as suffering. They think that if they are not surrounded by people, they are lost. But they don't realize the strongest, sharpest minds are forged in silence. Think of the greatest warriors, thinkers, and leaders. They were not shaped in comfort. They were shaped in the fire of discipline, rejection, failure, and isolation. The monk who seeks wisdom does not sit in crowds. He retreats to the mountains. The fighter who wishes to be the best does not waste time in distraction. He trains alone long before anyone is watching. The writer, the artist, the master of any craft. Each of them faces long hours of solitude where they battle their own mind, doubts, and fears. But just like the sword in the fire, something happens in those moments of struggle. The weakness burns away, the softness disappears, and what remains? A mind that is unshakable, a soul that is indestructible, a person who no longer fears walking alone. This is why solitude is not your enemy. It is your greatest weapon. Instead of fearing it, embrace it. Instead of running from the fire, step into it. Because every difficulty, every moment of isolation, every painful struggle is shaping you into something unstoppable. And when the fire is done with you, when the hammer has done its work, you will no longer be the same. You will be sharper, stronger, and ready for anything. Lesson 4. The fool who waits for the perfect moment. A young student once came to the Buddha and asked, "Master, when is the right time to begin my journey?" The Buddha smiled, looked at the sky and asked, "Tell me, when is the perfect time for the rain to fall?" The student was confused. "Master, The rain falls whenever it chooses." The Buddha nodded. "Exactly. The rain does not wait for permission. The river does not ask when it can flow. The wind does not wait for the perfect moment to blow. And yet, humans sit and wait for the right time to begin." This is the mistake most people make. They believe that there will be a perfect moment to take action. They wait for the right mood, the right motivation, the right support, the right conditions. But what they don't realize is that waiting is a trap. It is an illusion that keeps them frozen in place. Look around you. The most successful people in history did not wait for everything to be perfect. They started when things were uncertain. They moved forward even when they were afraid. They took action before they felt ready. Because the truth is, there is no perfect moment. A warrior does not wait for battle to begin training. He sharpens his sword long before the enemy arrives. A farmer does not wait for the rain to plant his seeds. He plants, trusting that the rain will come. A traveler does not wait for the entire road to be visible. He takes the first step, knowing that the path will reveal itself along the way. But the fool, he waits. He tells himself, "I will start when I feel ready. I will act when the time is right." And before he knows it, years have passed and nothing has changed. Ask yourself, how many times have you delayed something because you were waiting for the right moment? How many dreams have you put on hold? How many times have you told yourself, maybe next time? But what if there is no next time? What if the opportunity you are waiting for never comes? The truth is, life does not wait. The world keeps moving, and those who stand still, waiting for the perfect moment, are left behind. If you want to grow, start now. If you want to change, act today, not tomorrow, not next week. Now. It does not matter if you feel unprepared. It does not matter if you do not have all the answers. What matters is that you take the first step, because once you move, once you commit, you will realize something powerful. The right moment was never something to wait for. It was something to create. Lesson 5. The 3 types of company to avoid. There is an old saying, "Tell me who you walk with, and I will tell you who you are." The people around you shape your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately, your destiny. A great mind surrounded by fools will shrink. A disciplined person surrounded by the lazy will lose his edge. A focused soul surrounded by distractions will never reach mastery. The Buddha warned that the wrong company is like a boat full of holes. No matter how strong you are, it will drag you down. If you want to walk your path with strength, there are 3 types of people you must avoid. The drainers. These are the people who take your energy but give nothing in return. They always need something, your time, your attention, your help. But when you need support, they are nowhere to be found. They complain, they gossip, they pour negativity into your mind. Every conversation with them leaves you feeling exhausted, and yet they expect you to carry their burdens as if they were your own. Be careful. The drainers will not always appear as enemies. Sometimes they come as friends, as family, even as those who claim to love you. But watch closely. Do they push you forward, or do they hold you back? Do they add to your strength, or do they leave you feeling empty? A true companion does not drain you. They inspire you. They challenge you to grow. But if someone only takes and never gives, walk away. The distractors. The Buddha taught that desire is the root of suffering, and no one feeds desire more than the distractors. They are the ones who tempt you away from your path. They invite you to waste time. They tell you to relax when you should be working. They offer comfort when you need discipline. They say things like, "Why are you working so hard? Just enjoy life. You can do it later. Come have fun instead." Don't take things so seriously. Loosen up. At first, they seem harmless, but slowly they pull you away from your purpose. A day wasted here, a week lost there. and before you realize it, you have drifted far from your path. Life is short. Every moment spent on meaningless distractions is a moment you will never get back. Surround yourself with those who respect your time and push you to be better. If someone constantly pulls you into distraction, let them go. The doubters. These are the most dangerous. The doubters plant fear in your mind. They convince you that your dreams are impossible, that you are not strong enough, that you will fail. They are the voices that say, "Are you sure you can do this? What if you fail? Nobody else has done it, so why do you think you can?" Sometimes they think they are protecting you. They believe they are giving you realistic advice. But what they are really doing is feeding your fear. Imagine a bird about to fly for the first time. If it listens to the doubters, it will never open its wings. It will never know what it is capable of. It will stay on the ground forever, believing it was never meant to fly. You must be careful. Doubt is contagious. If you listen to it long enough, you will start believing it. And once you believe you can't, you won't. Do not let the fears of others become your own. When you have a vision, protect it. When you have a goal, chase it. And when someone fills your mind with doubt, walk away. You do not have to hate these people. You do not have to fight them. Simply distance yourself. Life is too short to be surrounded by those who drain you, distract you, or make you doubt yourself. Find those who inspire you, those who challenge you, those who remind you of your strength. And if you cannot find such people, walk alone. Because a path walked alone with purpose is far better than a path walked with those who lead you nowhere. Lesson 6. The Bamboo's Secret. There was once a farmer who dreamed of growing a magnificent bamboo forest. He carefully selected the finest seeds, planted them deep in the soil, and waited. Days passed. Weeks turned into months. Still, nothing happened. Other farmers laughed at him. "Why waste your time on bamboo?" they said. "Plant something else, something that grows faster." But the farmer was patient. He watered the soil every day. He cleared the weeds. He made sure the seeds received sunlight. Yet, year after year, there was no sign of growth. 1 year passed, nothing. 2 years passed, nothing. 3 years, 4 years, still not a single sprout. At this point, most people would have given up. They would have dug up the soil, believing the seeds had failed. But the farmer trusted the process. Then, in the 5th year, something incredible happened. In just 6 weeks, the bamboo suddenly shot up over 80 feet high. People were shocked. They thought it was magic. How could something stay hidden for years and then grow so tall, so fast? But the farmer smiled. He knew the secret. The bamboo had been growing all along, just not in a way that people could see. During those 5 years, it had been silently developing its roots, digging deep into the earth, preparing for the moment it would rise. If it had grown too soon, without strong roots, it would have collapsed under its own weight. This is the way of life. Most people want instant results. They start something new, a skill, a goal, a dream, and when they don't see progress, they give up. They look at others who seem to be succeeding faster and feel discouraged. They believe that their efforts are wasted. But what they do not see is the growth happening beneath the surface. Every moment you spend learning, every failure you endure, every challenge you overcome, it is all part of building your roots. The greatest achievements in life do not happen overnight. The strongest minds, the deepest wisdom, the most unshakable discipline, all of these are built over time, in silence, in patience. Think of the martial artist who trains for years before he masters a single move. The writer who spends a lifetime refining their craft before producing their masterpiece. The entrepreneur who struggles in the dark before their business finally succeeds. It is the same for you. Maybe right now you feel like nothing is changing. Maybe you are working hard, but the results are not visible. Maybe people are doubting you, laughing at you, telling you to quit. Ignore them. Keep growing. Keep building your roots. Because when the time is right, when your foundation is strong, you will rise. And when you do, the world will not understand how you grew so fast. But you will know. You will know that your strength came from the years of patience, the silent work, the struggles no one saw. So do not rush the process. Trust the bamboo's secret. The greatest things take time. Lesson 7. The only master you need. A young monk once traveled for many days to meet the Buddha. He had heard stories of the enlightened one, of his wisdom and serenity, and he believed that if he could only meet the master, all his questions would be answered. When he arrived, he bowed before the Buddha and said, "Master, I have come from far away. I seek guidance. I seek wisdom. Please tell me, who should I follow? Who will show me the way?" The Buddha looked at the young monk for a moment, then placed his hand over his own heart. With a calm voice, he said, "Follow yourself." The young monk was confused. "But Master, how can I trust myself? I am still learning. My mind is full of doubts. How can I know the right path without a teacher to guide me?" The Buddha smiled and said, "No one can walk this path for you. No one can make you wise. No one can bring you enlightenment. You must seek it. You must find it within yourself." This is one of the greatest lessons in life. Most people spend their lives looking for guidance from others. They wait for a mentor to show them the way. They rely on teachers, books, leaders, and external voices to tell them what to do. They seek approval, hoping someone will say, "Yes, you are ready. Yes, you are good enough." But the truth is, no one knows your path better than you. No one can teach you discipline. No one can make you strong. No one can give you wisdom. You must seek it yourself. A teacher can point to the door, but you must walk through it alone. Look at the great masters of history, the warriors, the philosophers, the enlightened beings. They all had one thing in common: self-mastery. They did not depend on others to make them great. They took control of their own minds, their own actions, their own journey. The swordsman does not wait for someone to hand him skill. He practices every day until his blade becomes an extension of his soul. The monk does not wait for someone to give him peace. He meditates until his mind is still as a lake. The scholar does not wait for wisdom to be given to him. He reads, he studies, he reflects, until knowledge becomes his own. And you? You must do the same. Do not look to others to validate your journey. Do not wait for someone to tell you that you are ready. The moment you decide to take control of your life, that is the moment you become ready. This does not mean you should reject learning. Learn from the wise. Listen to those who have walked before you. But never mistake guidance for dependence. A teacher may give you tools, but you must build your own house. A book may give you knowledge, but you must apply it to your life. A leader may inspire you, but you must take action yourself. Many people spend their lives as followers, always looking for a master to lead them. But the greatest truth is this: you are your own master. Your mind is your temple. Your actions are your teacher. Your discipline is your path. There will be times when you feel lost, times when you do not know if you are making the right decisions. In those moments, do not seek answers outside of yourself. Go within. Sit in silence. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? Observe your actions. Ask yourself, am I walking the path of wisdom, or am I looking for someone else to carry me? Take responsibility. Ask yourself, am I in control of my life, or am I waiting for someone to control it for me? The answers you seek are not in the words of others. They are not in the approval of the world. They are already inside you. The Buddha did not become enlightened by following others. He became enlightened by sitting under a tree, alone, in deep meditation, facing his own doubts and fears until he realized the ultimate truth. And that truth is this: everything you need is already within you. No one else can walk your path. No one else can give you strength. So stop searching for a master. Be your own. Final words. Life is a journey that, in the end, you must walk alone. No one can carry your discipline. No one can train your mind. No one can fight your battles for you. The world will not always support you. People will doubt you, leave you, and misunderstand you. But that is the very reason why you must become strong. So strong that you no longer need anyone's permission to succeed. Look back at history. The ones who changed the world, the ones who reached mastery, the ones who found true wisdom, they all walked alone at some point. They did not fear solitude, they used it. They turned their struggles into strength. And now, it is your turn. You do not need approval. You do not need a perfect moment. You do not need to wait for anyone to walk beside you. Everything you need is already within you. So start. Take the step. Walk forward. And if no one joins you, walk anyway. Because in the end, the strongest, the wisest, and the most powerful are the ones who have the courage to walk alone. This is your journey. Own it, embrace it, and become the person you were always meant to be.